For the discriminating traveler, there is a place where time stands still. The magnificent Crescent Hotel.
You check in, you unpack, you settle down for the night. But in some hotels, the other guests never left. We're counting down the 5 most haunted hotels in America. The question isn't whether you believe in ghosts, it's whether you'd survive the night. For over a century, the Jekyll Island Club in Georgia was the serene playground of America's wealthiest families. But behind the grandeur of the historic resort lies a haunting so intense it defies all logic. We're not talking about polite ghosts and lingering shadows. We're talking about a localized energy drain, poltergeist activity, and terrifying encounters that leave guests literally locked in with the unknown. In one particular suite, paranormal activity escalated to near unbelievable levels. A family staying here documented a series of aggressive disturbances. It started with minor physical anomalies, an internal deadbolt mysteriously locking itself while the family was out, forcing staff to remove the door to gain entry. Then came the baffling energy drain. Unopened cans of soda stored in the room were found completely flat, as if all carbonation had been violently sucked out, even as identical cans in their car remained normal. Multiple fully charged electronic devices instantly died upon being used inside the suite, hinting at a powerful, localized force field draining power. The hauntings grew more auditory and physical. The suite's toilet was observed flushing multiple times on its own, the handle visibly pressing down with no human contact. Immediately following one of these unexplained flushes, the chilling, disembodied laughter of children was heard. And despite the family being on the top floor, they repeatedly heard running footsteps and a heavy adult laugh directly above them. Even the hotel was aware. A security guard investigated complaints of the children's running, confirming that similar unexplained sounds plagued the top floor regularly. The terror culminated late one night when a guest felt an invisible presence sitting or climbing onto the pull-out bed. Seconds later, a menacing, tall, hooded shadow figure estimated at 8 feet materialized at the foot of the bed. The figure vanished the moment the occupants screamed. The Jekyll Island Club isn't just a host to history, it's a terrifying nexus of supernatural energy where the boundaries between this world and the next violently collapse. If you have ever stayed at the Jekyll Island Club, please share your experience in the comments below. For nearly 170 years, the Omni Parker House has stood as a bastion of Boston history in Massachusetts. But beyond the brass and mahogany, a different kind of host ensures every stay is perfect. This hotel is guarded by the spirit of its founder, a meticulous gentleman who never checked out, making it the city's most historically significant and most haunted landmark. The hotel was founded in 1855 by Harvey Parker, a passionate and perfect host who oversaw every detail of its operation. Even after his death in 1884, Parker's commitment to hospitality appears unbroken. His comforting presence is most often felt on the 10th floor. In the 1950s, a witness described seeing a misty apparition form into a heavy-set man with a black mustache outside room 1078, believed to be Parker himself. Decades later, a mother and daughter in room 1012 encountered a polite man in 1800s attire smiling at the foot of the bed. They later recognized the friendly ghost from a portrait, Harvey Parker. On the 10th floor, the activity is consistent. Guests in room 1040 are frequently kept awake by the sound of a rocking chair, despite the fact that no such furniture exists there. Floating orbs of light drift through the corridor, and staff often report strange, unexplained noises. But the Parker House ghosts aren't limited to the owner. Some believe the famed author Charles Dickens, a frequent guest, may still linger on the third floor, possibly linked to the elevators that mysteriously ascend to that floor with no passengers inside. Meanwhile, in room 303, a long-term resident who enjoyed his cigars and whiskey still leaves his distinctly pungent scent behind, even after the room is thoroughly cleaned. The paranormal encounters at the Omni Parker House share a common theme. They are friendly, familiar, and non-threatening. They are the ghosts of attached residents and meticulous hosts, ensuring the hotel's long, perfect history of service continues unbroken, forever overseen by the eternal host, Mr. Harvey Parker. If you have ever stayed at the Omni Parker House, please share your experience in the comments below. Opened in 1909 by Freelan Oscar Stanley, the man behind the Stanley Steamer automobile, the Stanley Hotel was conceived as a high-altitude sanctuary for the wealthy. Nestled near the entrance of Rocky Mountain National Park in Estes Park, Colorado, it's a bustling society of restless entities anchored by an ancient curse. From a spiraling portal to hell to maids who disapprove of your lifestyle, this is the spectral epicenter of the Rockies. Author Stephen King checked into room 217 during the hotel's quiet off-season. Following a vivid and deeply unsettling nightmare about his son being chased through the halls, King realized he had found the perfect muse. The Stanley became the template for the fictional Overlook Hotel in his terrifying novel, The Shining. The hotel's supernatural fame extends far beyond King's stay. Reports of paranormal activity are rampant. The source of the chaos is the 101-foot-wide lobby and staircase known to investigators as the Vortex. Opposing mirrors here are said to create a powerful portal, allowing spirits to access the hotel where they were once happiest. The most famous resident is Lizzie the maid, whose presence in room 217 has been disturbing guests since the 1950s. Lizzie is a tidy but strict spirit. She's notorious for physically pushing unmarried couples apart while they sleep, and she's been known to move single men's luggage outside their doors in disapproval. Every wing holds tragedy. The fourth floor is home to ghostly children who run and giggle through the halls, often playing with lollipops left for them. In room 407, guests face the dark figure of the Irish Earl, Lord Dunraven, who tugs hair and stands silently in the corner. In room 428, the spirit of the outlaw, Rocky Mountain Jim Nugent, is active, known for waking female guests with phantom kisses. Even the hotel's founders linger. Flora's Steinway piano in the wine bar plays by itself, and legend says it will slam its lid down on any intruding fingers. F.O. Stanley's reflection has even been seen burned into an American flag displayed in the hotel. Today, the Stanley Hotel embraces its dual identity. It remains a magnificent luxury resort, but nearly half of its annual visitors come specifically to encounter the unexplained. It is a stunning, enduring structure where the past is not only preserved, but still walks the halls. If you have ever stayed at the Stanley Hotel, please share your experience in the comments below. In the shadow of the Alamo in San Antonio, Texas, stands the Emily Morgan Hotel, once the city's medical arts building. But this wasn't just a clinic, it was the site of lobotomies, surgical trauma, and the grim reality of a wartime morgue. Now, the spirits of the patients and the dead are its permanent residents, and their experiences are terrifyingly personal. The hauntings here are intensely physical. Guests across the most active floors, the 7th, 9th, and 14th, report sudden, dramatic cold drafts or an inexplicable cold sensation that surrounds them. At night, the activity escalates. Multiple guests have woken abruptly, certain that an unseen presence was sitting on their bed or that phantom fingers were gently brushing against their hair. The simple act of checking in becomes a fight against an unseen force determined to share the space. Adding to the instability, lights throughout the hallways and in guest rooms frequently flicker and flash unexpectedly. This is often accompanied by disembodied whispers in otherwise empty rooms, contributing to the pervasive, uneasy feeling that settles over the entire building. The hotel's darkest trauma manifests in chilling apparitions. Ghostly nurses are routinely witnessed pushing spectral gurneys down the upper hallways, seemingly reenacting their rounds. On one floor, witnesses report seeing Elvira Moreno, a woman whose life was tragically taken in room 810, drifting through the corridors in a white gown before vanishing completely. Below ground, the former morgue and crematorium, now off limits, continues to host the most volatile energy. The air is heavy, often carrying the sickening, faint smell of burning flesh. Here, glowing orbs are seen, and disembodied voices are often heard. The elevators themselves are trapped in a loop, often moving on their own, skipping floors or descending directly to the inaccessible basement, as if still transporting patients to the very end of the line. The Emily Morgan Hotel is a nexus of anguish, a place where the medical procedures and wartime deaths of the past play out repeatedly for those brave enough to sleep here. The uneasy feeling is the memory of the trauma, confirming that for these troubled spirits, their stay is eternal. If you have ever stayed at the Emily Morgan Hotel, please share your experience in the comments below. Some hotels are haunted by tragedy. The 1886 Crescent Hotel and Spa in the Arkansas Ozarks is haunted by staff, patients, and unseen hosts who never stopped working. This isn't just America's most haunted hotel. It's the only one where the ghosts actively tuck you into bed, sort your belongings, and even escort you to the wrong room. The intensity of the hauntings here is surprisingly personal. One couple, sleeping under only a sheet, awoke to find their heavy blanket and comforter pulled up and tightly tucked around them. This happened 3 separate times in one night. They realized an unseen caring presence was ensuring they were comfortable. That obsessive attention to detail is also found in room 419, associated with the spirit of Theodora, believed to be a former staff member from Norman Baker's horrific cancer hospital era. Guests often leave deliberate messes as a sort of paranormal experiment. Those who earn her approval, however, are met with an unsettling tidiness. One couple, after scattering loose change, returned to find the coins neatly stacked by denomination on the dresser. Theodora had shown her approval. Perhaps the strangest encounter involves the hotel's helpful but invisible staff. A couple checking into room 221 encountered a man in a stunning all-black Victorian outfit near the elevator. This spectral gentleman not only offered to escort them, but also successfully unlocked the door with their key, smiling strangely from the doorway, but the moment they turned away, the man vanished. Later, their key stopped working entirely, and the front desk discovered they had been mistakenly issued a key to a different room. The staff confirmed no employee matched the description. The couple had been escorted and assisted by a ghostly bellman who didn't even work there. From spectral sorters to protective blankets and phantom escorts, the 1886 Crescent Hotel proves that the most fascinating hauntings are the ones that interact directly with the living. The dedicated spirits of this hotel aren't just shadows of the past. They are here, and they are still serving. If you have ever stayed at the 1886 Crescent Hotel, please share your experience in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, we invite you to like, share, and subscribe. We would love to have you in our community and join us on our next adventure. And please be sure to check out this next video. We're sure you'll enjoy.